If you haven't been using your sketchbook lately, you're in the same boat as me. And this isn't really like me. I usually fill a sketchbook every 3 months, but for the past, I don't know, like half year, I've just been so caught up with doing art for school and doing more finished pieces that I've neglected sketching for myself and just sketching for fun. And just doing like little personal art doodles and stuff, because that kind of stuff is so much fun, and I miss doing that a lot. And I've been saying for so long, like, I need to sketch more, because I used to all the time, and it's just been a while since I actually used my sketchbook the way I used to. I really, really, really want to get back into it, especially because we have so much free time now with everyone having to stay inside. It just seems like the perfect time, but I just can't bring myself to do it for some reason. There's just so many distractions here, and I just think anytime I get free time, I don't really want to sketch. I want to do other things because I'm tired of drawing after working on assignments. And I think if I'm going to do art, I might as well work on my assignments. But I think sketching is completely separate, and it's just so important to develop your visual style and just to come up with ideas. And I've also been sketching digitally a lot too. I started to do April Colors, which is a drawing challenge in April focused on color theory and just playing around with color, so everything is colored. I've been doing that digitally because I want to work on my digital art a little more. I've just been using my iPad and Procreate for those, but I need to use my sketchbook more. It's such an important thing, and I just need to do it more. So I wanted to talk about ways to use a sketchbook more, things I've done in the past, because of course everyone wants to sketch more, but some people just never do. But I find one of the best ways to sketch more is to just start sketching, because sometimes you just have to give yourself a little extra push to do it in the beginning. I find the more you sketch, the more you want to sketch. So whenever I'm sketching a lot, it's because I've been sketching a lot the days prior. So if I do a bunch of sketches one day, the next day I want to add on to it, and the next day I want to sketch even more, and it kind of makes me more motivated to do it, knowing that I have already made progress and I'll be adding on to the progress that I've been making. I'm kind of in the momentum, and I don't want to break that momentum. But when you're completely out of it and not sketching at all, you feel like you don't really have anything to lose by not sketching, because it's not like you've been building it up for a couple of days, this long streak of sketching every day. So you have to start that streak. You have to start the routine, because you're more likely to do something if it becomes a routine. And this used to be a routine for me every single day. I would sketch in my sketchbook, whether it was a little doodle or I would fill 4 pages at a time. And I find when I'm sketching, I am just producing better art in that time period and more creative ideas, because without sketching, I have nowhere to dump all of the bad ideas, and I have nowhere to develop good ideas. I just kind of go with my first instinct whenever I'm doing final art, and this isn't always a good thing if I haven't been sketching a lot behind the scenes, because that can really help you think of better subjects to draw and just better ideas in general. So it's not just good for your skills, but it's good for your idea development as well. And that's why it's just so important to use your sketchbook, but it just seems like such a daunting thing, and I don't know why it is, but I don't know, so many people struggle with this. A lot of people don't struggle with it. They have no problem filling sketchbooks, but I know a lot of people kind of let it slip away from them, and they just do a lot of projects and a lot of art, but they don't actually sketch for themselves anywhere. And it doesn't have to be in a sketchbook. It could be digitally sketching for fun, scrap pieces of paper. It doesn't have to be in a book. I just mean doing doodles behind the scenes for yourself that no one else can really see. I just think that's a really important thing to do, and I'm partially making this video to kick myself in the butt to actually start it again, because I'm always happier when I'm using my sketchbook, and that sounds kind of dramatic, but it's true. It just makes me feel productive no matter what I've done that day. At least I've done a couple of pieces of sketches and art in my sketchbook that actually make me happy, because usually I just get so much fulfillment from doing it, and I don't know why I don't sketch more. Well, I do know why. It's just been a little stressful lately, of course, and even now it's just so much It's just such a weird place in the world right now, and every single person is experiencing it, which I think makes it a little bit easier. But it makes it hard to, because a lot of people are saying, you have so much free time now, so you need to do something productive. And like, you should learn a new hobby, you should learn this, do this, read a book, do this, do that, exercise, whatever. But it's harder than ever to do anything for some people, and if you're like me, you're one of those people. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, art challenges are a really great way to fill your sketchbook because every single day you're drawing something. So you're doing possibly a page of sketches of preliminary work to develop your idea and then doing a drawing on the next page. And that's possibly 2 or 3 pages a day. It's not about filling a sketchbook just to have a sketchbook full. It's everything that goes along with it. Like, you're not just wanting to have full pages for no other reason. It's because if you have filled a sketchbook, you've done a lot of work and a lot of drawing inside of it. And the more drawing you do, the more you develop your skills and your voice as an artist. It's not just about filling pieces of paper. So when I say that, it's so much more than that. I'm not just talking about literally using up paper. It's expressing yourself, working on your skills. I could reiterate this over and over. The current sketchbook I'm using right now, I painted the cover. I was excited to do it. I did some sketches in it, and how many pages am I in? I'm actually going to check this right now. I'm like a quarter or a third of the way through, but I started this months ago, and I just haven't used it. And I want to so bad, but I just don't do it. I don't know why. I can blame one thing, and that is Animal Crossing has been eating up my time because it's just such a good game and I just really like playing it, and I feel like so many people are playing it and a lot of my friends play it now. So that is a huge distraction, so I need to somehow get that under control. But I'm not neglecting responsibilities, I'm just using my spare time for playing it and not doing other things. And I don't think that's anything to be guilty about, but you just have to pick and choose how you want to spend your time, and I want to sketch more in my free time. So maybe I should make myself draw something for every hour of Animal Crossing I play. Like, after I played for an hour, okay, go do some sketching, and then it will kind of go hand in hand. I don't know if that's a weird restriction to put on myself. So yeah, there's April colors. There's also Corintober. It's like a art challenge throughout April that an artist started. I'm trying to not say certain words because YouTube will demonetize videos if you say certain words, if you know what I'm talking about. But that is one that was started by an artist. You can look up the hashtag if you want. And I think it's quite popular if you want a lot of people doing it alongside you. The April Colors one that I'm doing, it was started by Fawnwood on Instagram. Their art is really, really cool. I would recommend you go check them out. But they're fairly popular. You've probably seen them already, but if you haven't, please check them out. It's not that popular of a challenge, but there still is, I think, a couple hundred people doing it maybe, so that there is a community out there of it. It's not so unheard of, and it's been going on for 3 years. I think it'd be really cool if it became more popular, if more people did it. It's not too late to join, especially since making this video is still near the beginning of the month, so you have some time to play catch-up or not play catch-up. You don't have to. I have this weird thing where I need to complete it from day 1 to the last day, or it doesn't feel like I did anything worthwhile, and that's such a bad viewpoint, but that's just how my brain works. So I'm trying to catch up because I started it on April 2nd, and I'm gonna do 2, I have to do 2 today as of recording this, but I don't know when you'll actually see this. Oh, I forgot to say, my sketchbook, so I painted on the cover of it. It is a Moleskine watercolor square sketchbook. It's not watercolor, no, it's just like an art journal. It's kind of bad paper. I don't really like Moleskine sketchbooks that much. I only like their Art Plus journals, the ones that are really thick paper, or watercolor is probably even better. I've never tried it because they're really expensive, but I don't really like Moleskine that much. I don't like the yellow hue of the paper. That probably has something to do with me not using it as much as I would normally do, or as much as I would normally use it, but that doesn't really make that much of a difference. I've just not been doing a lot of art lately, and I think it's just winter and just feeling sluggish and just always tired and just like a lot of bad habits of sleep schedule and all that stuff, just all contributing to just not being very creative or motivated. And this happens to everybody from time to time, but I feel like it's been going on for so long, and I need to just shake it off and just get back to the way I used to be and the way I want to do and the way I want to approach sketching and my art and all that kind of stuff. So if you're also having troubles with this, I am there with you, and let's just say we're gonna try to sketch more. We're gonna open our sketchbook, leave it open on your desk, leave some art supplies beside it, try to actually use it. Because if something's accessible, you're more likely to use it. I'm just so tired of sitting at my desk because I'm always here for school and just everything. So maybe I should sit outside. It's getting really nice out. I find one of the most useful things for when you are sketching is to have Pinterest open. And this is to get inspiration because honestly, it's so hard to draw something without having anything in front of you. You need some sort of photo, some sort of reference, something to spark an idea, because if you just rely on your own brain, you're going to end up like regurgitating ideas over and over, and I'm so guilty of this. It's okay to draw things that are fun to draw, but if you really want to draw something that is kind of fresh and inspiring to you, it's really good to have other artists' work to look at. A lot of people ask me to share my Pinterest account, but all my boards are secret. I just don't really want to share that. I can't explain why. I guess because people in my real life follow me there, and I don't like want people to know like people I know in real life, if that makes any sense. I just like to keep Pinterest as my own like personal sort of photo library, just to myself, but it's really easy to find stuff there, and there's just so much. It's like the same as Instagram, but what Instagram doesn't show you is when you are looking at someone's artwork, it doesn't show you a bunch of related images underneath. Pinterest is really good at that, at like finding similar things that you enjoy, because you don't just want to look at one thing, you want to look at a bunch of things to spark an idea. So that's a really good way of looking at reference photos when you're sketching, because it just, something will inspire you and you'll want to draw, and you'll keep scrolling and you'll see other things that make you also want to draw, and it will just kind of keep fueling your creative fire, if that makes sense. So I can say all this, but does it mean I'm actually going to use my sketchbook? Not necessarily. I have to hold myself accountable, and also not like force myself to do things that, like, I know that I do want to sketch, and it won't be me forcing myself. Like, I'll actually enjoy doing it, and I know that I will. I just need to do it. And I have been using it, just not really at all, like maybe once a week, when it should be like every day. I hope this kind of helped you. If you're having problems with your sketchbook and with motivation, just know that like you're not the only one, and not everyone is using this time to be extremely productive, because I think that's a really high expectation, because when you're not allowed to do anything or go anywhere, it just like takes away all your motivation. You just feel kind of like stuck. So I hope this helps you. If you're feeling like you want a challenge, you can join me in April Colors. I'm going to really try to do it. I think it'll just be kind of something to do every day to get me posting on Instagram more, just to pick myself up again. And maybe it will help you too. So thank you so much for listening to this and watching the art. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a okay time, and I will see you in my next video.